welcome Brandon Hayes. I'm here with my good friend, Verbal Assassin. Verbal, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you feeling today?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm so happy that you're here because you have quite an interesting story. We've talked beforehand, and I just think your story is really amazing. But before I go on, let me just get this out of the way. If you want to listen to Verbal Assassin's EP Gabos and his single Roll the Dice, that's on all streaming platforms. Follow Verbal Assassin on Instagram at Verbal Assassin DTA. And for merch and videos, you can go to developed through THRU adversity.com. Now it's so interesting that we talked before, and your life there's a lot of adversity. That's why it's funny the website is called Developed Through Adversity. Some of the things that I thought was quite interesting that you're from Montclair, but you spent some time in Newark, and you talked about how you just had to fight your whole life. You didn't have a father. You talked about getting shot and just so much stuff that happened that we're gonna touch on. What was music your motivation, or was it just getting out? Like, what really like made you that just didn't want to go crazy? Like, what was it?
Um, pardon me. Well, as far as the living situations, I've lived in Montclair, Elizabeth. You know, due to my lifestyle and certain choices, you know what I'm saying. I ran around in Irvington and Newark, so it's like I got a different taste of a lot of different lives. So, music was just an out for me. I used to use it more for to get off my frustrations towards people who had authority figures over my life at the time that I couldn't really let them know how their actions was affecting my life. So I would put it into music. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could kind of say I was venting with music at first. But then as I got older and I started to get around more people who were in the music business and creating music, and they just seen the natural raw talent that I had, they kind of helped me to mold it into a vision of I could do something with this, plus help other people who have some of the same similar stories that I've overcome.
Yeah. So when you're in Montclair and you go to Newark and you go to Elizabeth, and your family or anyone knows, do you automatically have an X on your back? Like, listen, this guy is from suburbia. Let's pick on him immediately. Or they knew what you were about.
Nah, I mean, it's more off your aura and demeanor, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Certain people can read. You know, that's where the saying "real recognize real" come from. Real
Right.
recognize also recognizes fake. So you know when somebody's playing or they trying to be somebody that they not. Like that's one thing about me. I'm always gonna be the same person no matter where I am. Whether I'm in suburbia, I'm in the hood, I'm in the country, or wherever it is. I'm always gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not that I had an X on my back. It's just that certain people might have felt that I had an easier life, or maybe I wasn't as rough or whatever the case may be, but, actions speak louder than words. So once you start to display who you are and the things that you into and certain things like that, people, they get a gist of it.
Where was most of the fights taking place? Was it in school or was it just out on the streets?
Um, me, I don't know. I mean, I had a couple fights in school when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? But that was
That was
because,
really nothing though. Like school wasn't really like a dangerous area growing up.
nah, like we wasn't, we wasn't like at each other like that. Like if you had a problem with somebody, it was more of a one-on-one thing. Like, you know what I mean? It was different groups or crews or whatever people want to call them that had problems or whatever, but people had their selective people out of each crew that they wanted to handle issues or situations with, let's say. So that's more how that broke down.
Yeah. When you're getting into these fights, did you ever just like, you know what, let me just join a gang. Let me just be around a bunch of people so I have protection at all times. And whenever something happens, it's just one phone call and it's taken care of.
Nah, I never, I'm not going to say I never thought about being in a gang, because when I was younger, certain people around me had an affiliation with the Rolling 60 Crips. So it was talked about a few times and it was on the table, but it was never for like protection. It was more for like a brotherhood type of thing, or, you know, that conglomerateness of having people who is, there for you. But I also, I had certain family members and things like that, like, that I value their opinion as far as like my grandmother, my grandfather, and shit like that. Like they would have been heartbroken to find out something like that. Plus, I'm strong enough to stand on my own 2 feet, so I ain't knocking nobody who do go to that life or who do bang or whatever. I got a lot of homies that bang on both sides. I got neutral homies. It's like it's all about what you choose to do with what you doing in the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I also bring up.
Never, so to answer your question directly, no, I never felt like I needed to run to a gang for protection.
Okay, and I also bring up the gang aspect because you talk about how you grew up without a father. Now, not having a father figure in that in your life, did it really affect you, or did it make you have a bond closer with your mother? Like, okay, it's just me and my mother, or was it just like, why am I the one without a father?
Um, it affected me definitely. It affected me. You know what I mean? Yeah, it made me and my mom bond stronger. But then me and my mom had our own situations that was a battle between us. So that's what kind of built the like all I got is me mentality that I had that I had for a long time. I say I don't have it anymore. That I had for a long time, but
Yeah,
it's like with my pops, it was just that it was I went through different emotions with it. I guess like every other young black man that grew up without a father. Like first you be questioning why he not around. Then you feel unwanted. Then you be angry. Then you go through different emotions because at different times you need your pops to say different things to you or to grab you and tell you, yo, it's gonna be all right, or yo, you got to toughen up, or yo, this is just how life gonna be, and things like that. So when you don't have those things, or you got to look to somebody that's not your father for those things, it affects you.
yeah. Who did you look up to around that time? Who was kind of like your big brother in a sort of sense, or father figure you looked to for advice? Was there anyone, other than your mother, obviously?
Yeah, my grandfather. At the time, my uncle. You know what I'm saying? My uncle. That was pretty much it. Like me and my friends, like what I mean, me and the people I was around, we basically like held each other down. We made sure each other was all right. We made sure each other had the things that we needed to get through what we was going through.
Yeah, you bring up your uncle. Is this the same uncle that was making music?
Yeah,
Did he inspire you to start making music, or was it just more of the escape of everything, all the challenges you were facing?
nah, yeah, I won't discredit. I won't discredit seeing him do what he did, play the influence. But it was like my whole city. God rest his soul. Fatal was from my city. God rest his soul. Gaddafi was from my city. I was young. I seen Pop come to my city. I seen the whole East Coast, West Coast thing kick off, and it just get infectious, and everybody get outlaw tattoos, and it's like it was just a part of the life that just was even outside of what I was going through. So I think some type of something in the music realm would have been in me, and plus before that, like, talking to my grandmother, I just found out that back in the slavery times, one of my cousins was hung so that he wouldn't go sing at the Apollo. You know what I mean? So music is really just in my blood, really. Like, it's like embedded in me. So it was just, God put things around you so that you start to embrace your gifts and you don't waste them. So I think that that's what it was. He put me in a setting to where I could see the potential, but know that if you go a certain type of route with it, it'll destroy you before, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What type of music did your uncle do? What type
He
what
rapped.
genre? Oh, he
He
rapped too?
rapped. Yeah, he was outside. You know what I'm saying? He was outside at at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that
Was
was
it
his genre of rap. Like he was rapping about his life and what he was going through or whatever.
Yeah, was it always a love for rap, or did you want to explore another genre but it was strictly rap?
Nah, I always wanted to make just music.
Okay.
Like I just wanted to make music. I just like once I hit that curve of really wanting to be a musician or whatever. Like I at one point put myself in that rapper box where it was like it's 16s and hard hooks and clever bars and punchlines and metaphors and all of that. But then I hit a curve to where it was like I just want to make music. You know what I mean? I want to make timeless music. Like Stevie Wonder was never in the box. Ray Charles was never in the box. Like none of those none of the greats that you could put on right now and feel good in your soul, they was never put in the box. They just went in the studio and made music. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, when you were younger, even now, you ever think like, let me just kind of step away from rap and cause I got this love for music and it's in my blood. let me pick up a guitar. Let me start to learn how to play the piano. Let me branch out. Or do you still just see yourself now and back then just strictly rap?
Now, actually, growing up, I ain't want to rap. Being honest with you, I wanted to. I used to drum for a drill team, like a marching drill team. I used to drum for them. I was like the drum captain. So I'm real nice with drumming. So I really wanted to drum. I really wanted to be on somebody's band that was on tour and like be their main drummer.
If
That
it
was,
was rock and roll or anything, like you just wanted to play the drums?
I ain't gonna say rock and roll because I'm big off like, like my soul and my energy
Yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that. So I wouldn't just say rock and roll, but I wanted to be on tour with, say, somebody who just had like a dope live energy. I just
Hmm.
always seen myself being like a drummer who really could help them turn up that energy because I'm a high energy type of person. So once, that didn't formulate or I didn't chase it the right way, I'll say, you know what I mean? I just fully just dove into rap.
Yeah. Do you still play the drums now? Would you incorporate some of your drums into music?
I got
Or
little
have you ever?
No, I haven't yet, but I got little schemes that I've been thinking about doing that I'm keeping in the tuck for, I'm just waiting for the eye, more eyes to be on so that it'll make sense of what I'm doing.
Do you have like a drum kit, like something you can go to make anything with
Yeah,
the drums?
it's a drum set right here in the studio I'm in.
Oh, okay. Do you make your own beats in the studio? Or have you ever dabbled in making beats?
Um, I tried. I sit with certain people who make beats or whatever that I want to like give it the sound or the curve that I want, but I don't sit myself and make beats.
Yeah,
Nah.
it's really a underrated art form, I would say, because it's such a hard process. Like actually looking at making beats, there's a lot of different sounds you got to put together and different
Yeah,
instruments. It's extremely hard, and uh, that's why it's just like I think it's just one of the other, being a rapper, being a producer, but knowing that you played the drums, I think that making beats would probably be a little bit easier for you. Am I right or wrong? Like easier for like the average person,
yeah,
if
like
you know how to play drums.
the drum patterns and stuff like that. That's not a problem for me. It's more really just sitting there and focusing the time to like really learn the different programs and stuff like that. That's what it is. I just never really put the time into it. I'm the type of person, once I sit with something, it's a rarity that I ain't gonna say master it, but that I don't learn it in a way that I could use it for my advantage.
Yeah. Do you think you're a perfectionist? Like if you actually start to learn how to make beats or even pick up a new instrument, you're not gonna stop until it sounds perfect. Like if you're like, you know what, I want to make a beat for this song I just wrote or the song I have in mind. I'm not gonna leave this spot or I'm not gonna focus on anything else until it sounds perfect. It sounds like the way I want to be. Are you
Yeah,
like that?
that's my gift and my downfall though.
Yeah, because I would say it's good and bad because you're wasting so much time on just one thing, but you know that one thing is gonna sound remarkable.
The thing, but this is something I had to start to realize in the business that I'm in. Man, I done heard a lot of remarkable records not go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a lot of people who just put time into smaller quality things hit a bigger plateau. So it's all about a personal thing, I guess you would say. It's like a scale, you know what I mean? You got to know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Does that
So right
ever?
now, for me to sit and put, however many hours or days into a beat, you know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense for me right now because the revenue, you know what I'm saying, that I need to be coming in off of, I need to be releasing music, not sitting just making one beat. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Does that ever do you ever want to quit music because you hear these records and you see these guys? It's like,
All the time.
they can like come like third in a talent show or whatever, but you hear these guys and they sound so good and the song is fantastic and it gets to no radio play, like nobody bats an eye. Do you ever just think like, okay, that could be me, like that I just want to kind of just like step away because I can't make a song this good, or maybe the music I am is making is that good and this guy's going nowhere? You ever just want to quit?
Nah, I mean, to me, life is all about, knowing the right people, taking your chances, and not letting the no deter you from what you're trying to get to. Because see, we all, like, to me, the way I look at life is we all on a mission, right? But it's
Mhm.
it's not it's not a person to tell you yay or nay, you gonna make it there. It's about you and the drive and the hunger that the creator put inside of you. You know what I mean? So like the way that I see things, I've got many no's for many different situations, you know what I'm saying, in life. But I never let those stop me, or I never stop right there because that person or that situation didn't work out. I'm the type of person I gotta find a way to make it happen, because it wouldn't be in my mind or it wouldn't be in my energy field to get this done if it wasn't made for me to get done. Now, as far as like hearing somebody who I don't personally feel like deserve to be where they at the time, that's not for me to really sit and worry about or to speak about, just due to the fact of I don't know who that person know. I don't know what money they put behind it, and I don't know how they got to where they got to. There's a lot of dudes that don't have the moral compass that I got, and that's where they are. That's why they are where they are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all a personal measure. Success to me is, you know, how you see fit. Like me, I already feel successful in music because people told me my music wouldn't grow past my city. I done performed in Atlanta. I done performed in North Carolina. I done performed in Denver. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I already did what people told me that I couldn't do. That just wasn't my personal goal. So it's like, I could stop now if I felt like it. My kids could go online and research my music. They could see my videos. They could show their kids. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I already built a legacy. So it's like, I could stop now if I felt like it, but that's not the mission that I started out with. So that's why I keep going.
Yeah. Your first project, Friend or Foe, you recorded it in your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time when you're recording in a, you know, you're not in a studio, do you feel a little bit more comfortable that you're in your own space, or did it put pressure on you that you're not actually in a professional studio where you're with an engineer and everything?
Well, I had an engineer actually working with me at my house, at my home studio, whatever. The only thing was difficult for me working at home is, like I said, I got kids and I got a family, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really a family man. Like, my family comes first before all of this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, anytime the kids want to do something or something, like, I was, you know, I attend to them, or I do what we do, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the family wanted to do, or whatever my lady wanted to do, or whatever. But when I locked in it and I started really like recording the project, they knew what I was doing. And it was like, I got through that project so fast. And it was like, it was clean. It felt good. And at that time, it was my first project. So it was like, to me, you know what I'm saying? Now listening back to it, I was like, oh, I could have did a lot better. But at that time, I was like, yo, I did it. I put a body of work together. People like it. I'm putting it out. You know what I mean? So it was like, I felt good being at home.
When you dropped your first project, did you drop it under the name Verbal Assassin?
Yeah.
Where did the name Verbal Assassin come from? Because when I think of it, of Verbal Assassin, I think that you're getting killed by your words. You killed by what you're saying. That's what I interpret it as. Where did that name come from?
Oh, well, in my family,
my
mother's known to have a sword tongue. Right?
Is your mother from I'm sorry, is your mother from America, or is she from like the islands?
Nah, my mother from America. My father's Jamaican.
Father Jamaican, okay.
American and Jamaican, or Jamaican. You know, from the knowledge I'm getting, you know, one of the two or two. But my mother's from America. But nah, my mother just got a way with words that, you know, she'll make you feel like this big if she wants you to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the style that I used to have, that's what people used to say about me. Like, you know what I mean? So it kind of was like a given name in a way, basically. And then I was named after my uncle that rapped too. And then somebody pulled me to the side like, yo, you want your own identity. You're going to be your own man one day. So I just basically sat down and just started putting things together that went with my characteristics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even my label name, you know what I'm saying? It used to be Don't Trust Anybody, because the childhood that I had, that's how I felt growing up. Like, I only had me. You know what I mean? I had my friends and stuff like that, but I only had me at the end of the day. So don't trust anybody. Then I switched it to develop through adversity, you know what I mean, over the years, just because of certain things that was going on and the triumphs. I mean, the challenges that me and my team had to overcome. Like, everybody in my team, you know, was facing different things that they had to overcome personally to chase what they was trying to chase. You know what I mean? Like, as a collective, as a whole.
Yeah, I'm definitely want to touch on DTA a little bit later. And I also asked if your mother is from the islands because my mother's from Jamaica and she can make grown men cry just by her words. It's just something about her and my aunt and my grandmother. It's just something about that they don't take any crap. They don't, they don't care how big you are. It's just, like their tongue is really a sword.
Yeah, they're gonna let
It,
you know exactly what it is.
yeah, it's really something. It's a piece of art, honestly.
Yeah.
But your next tape, um, Take a Stand, is one of my favorites because it kind of tells a story. You have some skits in there, bodega skit, and you have another track. And I like how some of it's like called like track 12 and track 18. It kind of tells a story and you get personal. Was that your idea or it just happened by accident?
Nah, Take a Stand was actually a dedication to one of the people that I grew up with that I call my brothers. You know what I mean? He's actually he was sentenced to like 43 years um in prison.
What did he do?
What they say he did,
Yeah.
they say he committed murder.
Okay. And he didn't.
I personally don't think so.
Why don't you think so?
I just personally don't think so. And if it hold on. I'm trying to be politically correct, but I'm gonna keep it a beat.
Nah, keep it real. Keep it real. Come on.
I'm just gonna say New Jersey needs a self-defense law. That's it. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? Because it's still, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to stir up no old emotions, feelings. I don't never know who might see this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, respect to both, both sides. I wish the situation didn't play out like that because I know people on both sides. It's just I grew up with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that's how that play out. But
what age was it? How old were you when this happened?
we was kids, man. We was like 18, 19.
18. Oh, shit, man. So see, he had the rest of his life. Okay, so that project was strictly dedicated to him. Take a Stand.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a powerful title just for the whole project. Take a Stand.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, that's the mind state that we had because we were still, trying to fight his case, and it was just a lot going on at that time, and I was recorded heavy, and I just was like, yo, bro, I got to try to keep you out here some type of way. You know what I mean? I can't really do too much right now. I'm 19 going on 20, 2 kids. Like, I'm trying to hold apartments down. Like, I'm dealing with a lot already. Like, I'm not even in a position to really be, as people would call it, like doing a bid with your homie like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't really do nothing for him. Like, when you behind there, like, not only do you need somebody to answer the phone and all that, but sometimes you need, you might need some little finances or somebody to bust a move or something like that. And I couldn't really do them things like that, having young kids and now trying to change my life from what we was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Were you writing Take a Stand while his whole trial was going on?
Nah,
Or was it afterwards?
he was already down, and yeah, we was trying to go through the appeals. I was trying to find like appeal lawyers and different court situations that happened, previous from his that made sense in his case. It was like a lot. Like, I didn't even write that whole thing. I didn't even write it.
Yeah, I do want to touch on your writing process in a second, but do you think that's your most emotional tape? Take a Stand?
Yeah, I think that's the tape that I really was like, because when you hurt, you got to let it out some type of way.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing kind of with that. Like, I was kind of letting it out in a trying to be in the most positive way I could, basically.
Yeah, and in the Black community, therapy really isn't an option. If it's like, if you go to therapy, you're automatically crazy. So
Yeah.
therapy and medication, everything like that, Black people shy away from. And it's sad. It really is sad.
Especially at that time, telling somebody, especially as a man, like, you know what I mean? You depressed? Like, what?
Yeah, get over it.
Yeah, what the fuck you talking about? Like, you couldn't be, so it was like, you couldn't even really reach out for help like that. Like, you couldn't, and then all your homies, they going through similar situations, so they can't really give you no positive outlook on life. They gonna tell you something that you already thinking in your head 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, so in in your mind, you're thinking the audience is my therapist, and I'm just gonna spit all my problems.
Yeah, I'm just going to record and talk to this mic and just get all of this stuff out and different things that's going on around me that I can't talk to nobody about or whatever the case may be. I'm just going to put it in code and put it in music.
So, what is your writing process? Do you write anything, or do you just strictly have like you kind of freestyle? What's your process like?
I go in the studio, depending on somebody sent the beat or if the producer's right there live, like the person making the beat.
Mhm.
I listen to the beat for a while. I'll come up probably with the chorus or the hook. Once I got that down, I lay that down, and then I'll work on my verse, and then I'll basically go through my verse, putting it in, and then I go back and like chop little pieces, or if I mumble or if I say something that I really ain't want to say it that way or something, I'll chop that out, fix it up, and then I do my ad libs, one take. I do my voiceover, and all my extra layers, I do those all one take. But I don't really write unless I'm writing for somebody else.
Okay, and you've written for many people before?
I wouldn't say many, but I've written for a couple people before, yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that method is better for you? Why don't you think writing stuff down? Like if you're just like walking down the street and you think of a line, wouldn't you be like, oh, let me just write this on my phone, save it for later? But you kind of feel more comfortable uh the freestyle way?
Yeah, it's an energy thing for me. Like when I record, most of the time, it's like it's off of the vibe. Like it's off of either something I'm going through, something somebody done called me they need help with that it's like something like that. I normally don't go off of like sitting at home or being like, oh, I'm gonna talk about, the coronavirus today and then just sketch a whole rap about coronavirus. I don't do that. Like that's easy to me, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of easy to me. So I like to challenge myself. I like to go in there with no canvas and then have to be forced to paint a picture with words. It's like
Yeah.
watching that guy, I forgot his name, but you know that guy that sit there and he paint real quick, but then he get the whole mural out?
So like Bob Ross?
Yeah, like Bob Ross. Like
Okay.
that's how I see music. Like I see it like that, like in colors, like
Yeah.
like that. It
Yeah.
might sound crazy, people
No, no,
watching,
no.
laughing, and all that, but that's how I see it. Like I think differently than a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Everyone's thinking different. Everyone has a different process, and I always like to know how other people process is different. So after you drop Take a Stand, that's your second project. How do you feel mentally about your rap career? Like, where are you at? Are you kind of like, okay, I have a sense what's going on. I dropped two projects.
Um, on the mixtape circuit, I knew what was going on, but not industry wise. Like because industry and mixtape or underground, whatever people want to call it, it's two different worlds. Like it's two different worlds. It's two different worlds. So it's like I knew what was going on in the mixtape, but my engineer that I was dealing with at the time, um, he was dealing with the industry, I guess you could say. So I was getting a little bit of taste of it from him. But when you don't know something about a world and somebody telling you about it, they could control you to it. You feel what I'm saying? So it was certain things that I thought I had to do before I could get into the real music business, because that's the only person that I knew who had really made it into the music business like that, opposed to the people that I grew up around, but those guys wasn't around me anymore.
When did you start to get more of a feel of the industry world? At what time?
I say maybe like 7 to 9 years ago.
And you kind of have an idea how it works. And would you say you would want your kids to be a musician? Like if one of your kids like, hey, Mr. Assassin, hey Verbal, I wanna be a musician. Would you kind of help them out, be like, okay, this is what you got to do, or would you kind of steer them clear? Like, listen, I know how this thing works. I know how shady this industry is. You don't wanna mess around with it. Let's try something else.
Um, I mean, it's like, me, I don't never try to, kill my kids' dreams. So it's like if my kid came to me and, my daughter came to me and said, hey, Dad, I want to do music, which she's been in the studio. She's recorded little things or whatever the case may be. But I think, it was just for her. But I don't know if I would necessarily tell her, no, I don't want you doing this or whatever. But I just school her to the game. And then my music career would be over and I'd just be hands-on with her and I'll have to be part of her management team. Now, I wouldn't be the controlling one to be like, oh, I'm the manager, like, because I don't know everything that I need to know in the management realm. You know what I mean? So I would get her the best manager that we could get, and then I'll put myself on the management team so that I could be hands-on with what's going on. And then depending on what situations came about, we would handle it accordingly.
Mm-hmm. My favorite project by you is Playtime Is Over. I don't know if that's like your fourth one, your fifth one. I don't know how deep you were when that one came out.
I think that's like my fourth tape.
That's your fourth tape. And the reason why I like it because it kind of had like a smooth feeling to it. Some of the songs like Gotta Go Get It, Fly As Me, it really had a good vibe to it. That was intentional, that was 100% like, listen, I'm going to do something totally because it is kind of different than your other projects at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So was that going in beforehand? Like, listen, I'm gonna do this smooth vibe to it.
Nah, that was some of those songs was a challenge by my engineer, my lady, that I couldn't make.
What was a challenge?
My lady and my engineer at the time.
Yeah. Why did they make it a challenge? Exactly.
Because I was making verbal assassin songs. I wasn't making songs for females. I wasn't making songs for guys who wasn't living. I'm not even gonna say a certain type of lifestyle, like, you know, like, oh, I had the most gangsterous lifestyle growing up. Like, nah, like I had my share of fights. I've been through what I've been through, or whatever the case may be. But it's like, I got a certain type of outlook on life, and I'm a certain type of person. So that's the only vision I was giving people that I had. But in my mind, I'm very smart. I'm into a lot of things. I'm very, you know what I mean? I do a lot of studying and things like that. So it was like, yo, if you talk like this and we have these type of conversations, why does the music only sound like this? So I was like, you know what? So when we went in to do that, I purposely picked beats that would challenge me, being that I know I don't write. I can't go in there all aggressive on some of these beats. And then that's around the time when I started learning about the industry, and it was like, I got to make more worldly music for people to accept it more, because everybody don't want to hear this, you know what I mean, what I'm recording right now. Some people want to hear, you know, what I'm about to record. And that's why Playtime's Over kind of had the feel that it had.
Your wife, is this the same woman that was helping you out with Playtime Is Over?
Yeah, she the one who challenged me, yeah.
Yeah, how long have you guys been together?
20 years.
20 years, yeah, and she's pretty much your business partner with DTA, right?
Yep.
And she's pretty much your motivator. You guys collab with projects, and it's really a beautiful thing, because you don't really see that a lot out there. It seems like it will lead to arguments and everything.
Nah, see, look, this the thing, right?
Yeah.
Before, and I'm not, again, hold on, before anybody say anything, I ain't taking anybody.
Uh-huh.
But before anybody was doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had her on stage with me, performing at video shoots, at the strip club, at whatever. You feel me? This is the thing about it. Like I said, we've been together 20 years. The reason we've been together 20 years is because everything is on the table. You feel me?
Yeah.
Ain't no room to be arguing. Everything that we trying to build is an empire for everything that we created, which is our children. Yeah. So there's no room for us to be getting into it over this lifestyle that we chose to be in. We know what come with it. People gonna be attracted to us. People going try things. People gonna make up things. There's all types of things that go with this. But she know me and I know her. So at the end of the day, that's what keeps it where it need to be. And everything outside of that is business. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Is she a recording artist? Yeah, is she a recording artist as well?
Yeah.
You guys made tracks together?
Uh-huh. We got music together.
How are the tracks? Is it like is it verbal assassin or is it smooth assassin? Is it, is it more of like a
It depends on the vibe of the song, because she got both sides. You know what I'm saying? She has both sides. She got the smooth side, and she also could, get in there and put her 16 together to where, like, okay, all right, she do what she do. So it depends on the vibe of the song. We got love songs. We got This Ain't the Movement That You Want to Come Over Here and, can I curse on here or not?
Oh, yeah, you've been cursing. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, all right. Damn, I cursed before? My fault.
Yeah, no, bro, please. This is free space. Do it.
Oh, all right. Well, And then we got the don't come over here fucking with us side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got songs in all different realms. Like I said, like our slogan is we make real music for real people. And nobody has the same emotion every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Would you guys ever drop a collab project together?
We working on one. It's called,
Okay.
yeah, we got to change the title though, because she just switched her name. So we working on one. We trying to put it together and just, you know, make it make sense. Give everybody a taste of what they looking for. So it'll be in the works.
So you got Gabos 2 coming out later, and you also have that project with your wife. Now Gabos 1, or just Gabos, that EP, that's basically a sneak peek of what's to come. Would you say Gabos 2 is this is gonna be the album? This is gonna be your hardest working album. Would you say so?
My hardest working album, yeah. I would say the most musical album that I got out so far is the Hustle and Flow album that I got with my man Kenny Lord.
Yeah, and Kenny Lord is also on Gabos.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
he got he got 2 slots, 2 features on there. Yeah,
he's on a couple tracks. And now what I like about Gabos is it's a real gritty sound, New York vibe. Actually, one of the songs, Back In, it reminds me of the late Pop Smoke. And it's really it's coming hard. No, it's coming hard. It's going in. You know what I'm saying? Was that your intentions beforehand? Like I'm always curious about how you're preparing before an album. Like this Gabos, this is gonna be real verbal assassin. This is gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. I'm on this.
Nah, actually, like with the whole Gabos EP, it was like I was feeling me and a couple key people who I value their opinion that's around me. Pardon me. They was just feeling like it was too long before I put out a body of work. And I personally agreed with them. So I just start picking stuff that I had, you know what I mean, probably in the tuck that I didn't release. And then I recorded a couple joints. I sat down. Actually, me and Kenny sat down and went over a couple joints. Then I bought Wifey in and a couple other people. We listened to them. I was like, yo, this shit right here, we're going to put it out and see how it go. Because it was the first project since, let me see. It was my first solo project since I had got shot. So that's what slowed me down from really putting out any musical work, because I'm like mentally, it was a lot for me to come back to the person that I am today from that situation.
Talk to me more about getting shot. I know you don't want to, really harp on it too much, but how scary of an experience was that for you?
I got shot 6 inches from my heart, so that's pretty traumatic. And then the fact of it was more the aftermath of the situation, of thinking about my kids, my lady, my mom, my peoples, not having me and what I do for them in their lives here. You know what I mean? That's what more made it traumatic for me, or made it more scary or more realistic.
Yeah. Where did you get shot at? Like what town?
I got shot in Montclair.
In Montclair.
Yeah.
And you think this was a setup? You think they were really after you? Or is this just like a stick up gone wrong?
I say if you mix the last 2 things you said, then you'll come up with the perfect scenario.
Okay. And you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to harp on it too much, because it's a.
I had just came back from Denver. You know what I'm saying? I was on the road. I just came back from Denver. I did a show in my town for a couple of other artists up there, and a couple of artists that I had connections with, or whatever the case may be. Because that's another thing I used to do. I used to throw shows for other artists to get a light, and for me to always be on stage too. Also, you know what I mean? So I did a show in my town or whatever. Like 2 days later, somebody that I was cool with at the time, they came, we was chilling. He brought up another one of my homies that I'm cool with. But what I didn't know is that he already knew something was going on at that location. So basically he took me there, you know what I'm saying, for me to be a part of the situation. Yeah. So that brings the setup into the robbery going wrong, I guess you could say.
And you think jealousy plays a part in it too? Because they see that you just came back from a show in Denver?
Yeah, I think that was my first taste of, if this the life that you want, you got to be able to hold it down.
Now, you came back from Denver. You did high times, like the 420 high times in Denver, correct?
High times and coast to coast.
Coast coast. Do you think is that the highlight of your career?
At that time it was, yeah.
What do you think the highlight of your career is now?
Now it's just being able to be in a mental state to even create music, to be able to go back on stage, to have the courage to even be the person that I am now after overcoming, everything I overcame.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not even about being shot. Like it's more about, like I said, I'm a mentalist. I'm a thinker. So it's like it's the mind state that put me in.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Give me, because we're about to wrap up soon. Give me your 5 favorite rap albums, not of yours, just of all time. Your 5 favorite, not even rap albums. Your 5 favorite albums, any genre.
Albums.
Yeah. It could be any genre, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in order from least to best. Just give me 5 that you just look up to.
The Purple Tape.
Okay, you got Purple Tape.
You know what that is?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, MOP, First Family.
Okay. So we got Purple Tape, MOP, First Family.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I listen to a lot of different like music, bro. Like I listen to a lot of different music.
Give me a couple more. Give me a couple more. There's two that's your go-to.
Like whole albums.
Is Take a Stand on there? Would you say one of you?
Get Rich or Die Trying on there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I bet you definitely relate to that.
Yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying is on there. Illmatic would be on there.
Would you say 50 Cent is your one of the closest rappers you would say is had your situation, growing up with the single mother, getting shot, the jealousy, the backstabbing, you kind of have the New York style. Would you say he's one of the most similar rappers to you, to your craft?
I mean, I never even thought about it. Like, you know what I mean? Even sitting here right now, I don't know. Like, a lot of dudes been shot. Like, damn near every rapper I met been shot, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just a similarity, unfortunately, that we have due to the backgrounds that we coming from. You know what I'm saying? The ones who are really coming from those backgrounds, not the ones playing. You know what I mean? The ones really coming from a certain type of background. You know what I mean? A lot of them have been shot or whatever, but I mean, we got similarities, but then there's certain things that, I wouldn't do that 50 do.
Yeah.
But salute to 50. He's his own man. He do what he want to do. He's a grown man. You know what I mean? I really don't speak on other grown men and how they act or whatever. So,
So we got the albums with Purple Tape, Give Rich or Die Trying. I'm putting Take a Stand on there because that's just a,
because you said not mine. Like, you know what I mean?
But we gotta throw it up on there because you know what, the story behind it is really incredible. It is. It's heartbreaking. MOP and Illmatic. That's what we're gonna say.
Reasonable Doubt to be on there.
Oh, classic. Yes, absolutely.
Damn, Ready to Die would be on there. Like, see, now I'm starting to really think about little different points in my life that albums was getting me through those situations. Like,
yeah.
I'll be here all day, man.
No, I definitely understand. Verbal, I thank you so much. Follow Verbal Assassin on Instagram at Verbal Assassin DTA. Listen to Verbal Assassin new EP, Gabos, and his single Roll the Dice on all streaming platforms. Look out for Gabos 2 coming soon. And also go to Developed Through THRUadversity.com. I forgot to ask you, talk to me a little bit more about Developed Through Adversity.com. You got your clothing brand on there, and you also have some videos of not only just you, but other artists as well, right?
Yeah, it's anybody who's associated with my team, I kind of link them through my website. But the website is primarily just for the clothes, just to get the clothes out to the people who I can't get to hand to hand. I really like when people support my clothing line. I really like to meet them hand to hand to give them their product.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I'm just that type of person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm big on energy. I like, you support me, I'm here. I don't think I'm bigger than you to just send your clothes to you and then be like, whatever, and you 2 blocks away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. It's just like the clothes up there, different concepts and ideas that we come up with. Everything is done in-house. And the clothing line just came from, trying different avenues to become successful. Our slogan over here at DTA is 10 different hustles, one common goal. And that's to build an empire. So
yeah. I love the logo, the bird. I remember we talked about it. Basically, it's a bird. Even your chain is really, man. How heavy is that chain?
it's pretty
How
heavy.
heavy is that chain? Come on, your neck could probably bench 200 pounds by itself. That thing looks ridiculous.
I appreciate it, bro.
But no, the logo is basically the bird flying saying you're free, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I was looking at some of the clothes. My favorite thing is the jean jacket. The jean jacket is phenomenal. The back of it, oh man, it's definitely gotta check that out. And yeah, you got anything? Are you gonna make masks for this whole thing going on? Because you did post on Instagram that thing and it says Verb. I really like that, and I would really love to buy one. And I know a lot of people would love to too, because we're at the point of where we're gonna be wearing masks for months. So no one wants to wear just a regular surgical mask. We gotta be fashionable with it. So are you gonna drop that?
Yeah, I'm actually in the work with somebody right now in talks to try to get a big bulk order of them. So then that way I could go ahead and do all of the printing and the customizing that everybody wants, so that everybody have a one of one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in works with that. Hopefully by the end of next week, everything could kind of be tightened up and I can officially make the announcement online that we'll have them in the sizes and whatever everybody needs to customize the one that they have.
Yeah.
So, and we wanted to make sure that they had the filter pockets and they were, totally as safe as I could get them. That's how I want to make them before we put them out. So that's what the delay was.
Fantastic. Here, let me know as soon, because I will definitely buy one. Once again, Verbal Assassin, I thank you so much for coming. Follow Verbal Assassin on Instagram at Verbal Assassin DTA. Look out for Gabos 2. If you haven't already, please listen to Gabos 1 EP. Is fantastic and is single roll the dice on all streaming platforms and developed through THRUadversity.com. Copper jean jacket, copper hoodie, and look out for the mask soon. Verbal, I thank you so much, my friend.
I thank you, my brother.
All right, man. One.
All right, one.